everyone. This is Min from the SMA Product Management team. Today's webinar is Release Readiness for 2021 May release and mainly focus on the SMA-SM service portal. For today's session, I have put the handout of the presentation in the handout section. Please feel free to download if you need it. And here is today's agenda. Firstly, I'll quickly go through the SM user group logistic. I suppose most of you are quite familiar with that. And then I mainly focus on the introduction about the release update on the 2021 August release for SMA-SM service portal. During the session, if you have any question, please raise your question in the Q&A panels, and later we can go through that one by one if necessary. Okay. And for the Service Manager user group, I suppose you are quite familiar with that. We have the monthly meetings for the SM technical practitioners, and compared to the previous practitioner forum, now we have combined the quarterly release readiness together with this Service Manager user group. So you just need to register once to get all the webinars. But this is not applicable to the APJ session. We have a dedicated APJ session for a thread for the release readiness. So something I want to highlight here is we, besides the release readiness, we also have some choose some special topic in the Service Manager to be discussed or to be presented during the user group. And here is two sessions I want to highlight here. First one is the Service Manager Special Interest Group, which has been finished in the June timeframe. And during the session, we share what's coming next in the Service Manager after Service Manager 9.70, and also what's the future roadmap and the future direction around the Service Manager. So in case you didn't join the live session, please feel free to listen to the recording published in the user group page, and you can get some heads up information around the Service Manager. And in July, we have the release readiness for the August release, and in August, we are planning a dedicated session for the future tracker capability we introduced in the Service Manager 9.6x. And we noticed that more and more customers is considering to adopting this capability. That's the reason we want to host a dedicated session to go through all the use cases and all the improvement that we have been done and planned in this feature tracker in the Service Manager. Okay, that's all about the SM user group, and also here is some useful links and you can take a look at offline. Now let's go to the main agenda of today's release readiness for the 2021 August release. And as I mentioned in the May release readiness, is that from the beginning of this year, the SMA product team have a quite big initiative around the SMA service portal, including the service portal for both SMASM customer and SMA-SM customers. That is about the service portal UI update. And from the 2021 August release, we will officially launch this refresh the service portal UI for both SMASM and SMA-SM customers. So next, I will show you the key improvement we made in both portal, and those improvements have been made to be consistent across SMASM source portal and the SMA-SM source portal. So, okay, let's take a look at. So here is the first improvement is around the navigation menus. So as you may know that previously the navigation menu is only displayed on the right-hand side of the landing page, and from the August release, now application navigation menu is now at the top left. And this is for the SMA-SM service portal. And as you can see, we have a short list of the navigation menu, but if you are the SMAX customer, you will get a longer list because you also have you will also get an entry into the SMAX agent portal from the same navigation menu. And meanwhile, the user profile and the setting is now on the top right. So now we have two places to show the application navigation menu and the user profile settings in the SMA service portal. That's the first major change here. And the second part is about the request list. And as you can see now, first is changes on the workflow. Previously, in the SMA service portal, we don't have expanded workflow, and so we just show the current meta phase this request is on, and from the August release, workflow rendering expanded and has name of the meta phases clear showed here. So all the meta phases will show here, and the current meta phase will also be highlighted accordingly. And also, as you can see here, now you have badges included with each items in the request list. And in the meanwhile, you can filter open request inbox by date and phase, and sorted by the creation time accordingly. And however, the timestamps provide more context here, like the created time or those kind of information. So all of this improvement have been made on the request list and applied to both service portal for SMAX and SMA-SM service portal. So that's an improvement on the request list. And the third important improvement have been made on the request list. As you can see now, we have the new layout for the request tracking details, and we have a clear headers with expanded workflow widget, like we have improved in the request list view. And meanwhile, the action like the resubmit, close, those kind of action now is displayed at the top instead of the bottom of the request detail page. So in such case, as any user, you don't need to scroll down to the bottom of the page to perform those kind of the action accordingly, like accept, reject, marked as resolve, chat, those kind of stuff. And another changes in the request detail view is the layout. Now layout is in the collapsible vertical sections, and you have a clear readability of the fields and the option in the request, and with horizontal space for the long titles and help text. So those are the major changes we made in the request detail page. So as you can see in the landing page, in the request list page and the request detail view page, all of those three major places, we have done a lot of UI refresh changes applied to both service portal. Okay, that's a part for the UI changes related to service portal. And meanwhile, for the SMA-SM, we also have some improvement in the August release. The first one is about supporting customized document type in the Service Manager. So previously, in the SMA-SM source portal, we only support showing the out-of-box document type defined in the service manager. In case some customers, they do have some customized document type defined in the SM knowledge management, those articles cannot be showed correctly in the SMA-SM source portal. So from August release, those type of article with a customized document type can also be showed correctly in the source portal. And here is one of the sample here, and as you can see, document type is non-out-of-box type and is defined by customer themselves, like reference. And this is another changes we made, and I think that have been requested by many SMA-SM customer, because in the previous SM source portal, we do have a capability to differentiate the service request and the support request, but this is something missing in the previous SMA-SM source portal. So from August release, as you can see, we added different color badges here to identify whether this request is support request or service request, to differentiate between the service support request in the request list view. And another changes in the SMA-SM service portal is about the offering support offerings sorting defined in the service manager. So in the May release, we start to support the sorting definition defined in the catalog category level. And in the August release, we expanded this capability and support the offering levels sorting definition. So as you can see, this is service manager service catalog definition page, and in the offering, in each offering, you can define the sort order in the service manager side, and consequently, this sort definition will take effective in the SMA-SM service portal accordingly, not only in the category level, also in the offering level. So in the offering list view, you have additional sorting capability here, and you can choose the sort order to reorder the or reshow the list of the offering displayed in this page. Okay, and for this, another changes is applied to both SMA-SM source portal and SMASM portal. Is we support different size of the category tiles on the landing page. So from August release, we provide more flexibility here. So as you can see, we support 3 types of the size of the category tiles on the landing page. So you have the choice to determine whether you want to show 3 tiles per line, or 4 tiles per line, or 6 tiles per lines. So we have some flexibility here to change this landing page's display. And another big change is applied to both portals is around the preview themes capability. So previously, we also support theme settings, and from the August release, the previous theme setting will be abandoned, and we will launch a new theme settings panels. Customers' previous theme settings can be automatically migrated to the new theme settings. They don't need to redefine all these theme settings from the August release, or after they upgraded from early version to the August release. And something we changed significantly here is when the settings have been changed here, the preview will be on the real portal pages. You can even operate this portal with the scene preview model. So it will provide a more convenient way to the talent admin to define the scene settings and see the result immediately. And besides the original theme settings capability, now the new theme settings also support the category text, background, opacity, category font size, and category in bold font. So more flexibility have also been provided in the new theme settings of the service portal. Okay, and the next one, I think that will be very interesting improvement, and some of the customer will be very happy about this improvement starting from the August release. So as you may know that previously in SMA-SM, we can only define one default languages. Originally it's English, but we previously do have some capability to change that default language to other non-English languages through the API request. But firstly, it's not convenient to change that language settings. Secondly, even for all the service portal end user, they may have a different language settings want to be set in the SMA-SM service portal. Therefore, in August, we made improvement here. As you can see now, we can synchronize the end user's language from the service manager to SMA-SM automatically. So now we will read the user's operator records language settings automatically, and then it will be auto-synced to the SMA-SM service portal. In such cases, all the different the SMA-SM user with different languages, they can log into the SMA-SM service portal with different default language synced from the service manager operator record. And this solution actually has been validated by one SMA-SM service portal customers in their environment, and it's quite successful. That's the reason we want to make it available to all the SMA-SM customers. And later, this solution will be available on the Micro Focus, the marketplace, for you to try this on top of the SMA-SM. Okay. Yes, and another major change is about the feature settings and the configuration settings change. Previously, although we support different type of the feature settings, but most of them need to be enabled or disabled through the API request, which is really not convenient for the talent admin to define those kind of the settings. So from August release, we redesigned the feature settings and the configuration settings page, and as you can see here, all of these settings have been put on the UI, and which is shown directly to the portal admin to define and easily to enable, disable those capability, like the mobile app enable the survey or the approval delegation, all this type of the settings. And meanwhile, in the configuration settings, we add another new settings. It's about the set default languages. So this is not supported in the user interface previously. Customers, they need to set the default language through the API, but now we also make these settings visible in the configuration settings UI page for the service portal admin to configure that more easily. Okay, let's all of these changes, as you can see in the August release, we have done a lot of improvement on the SMA-SM service portal. Besides the previous UI update applied to both portal and some specific SMA-SM enhancement, we also have some minor improvement from the user experience perspective. So I will quickly go through that one by one as well. So first one is a minor change and related to the user experience. Yes, previously in the sidebar, for those hyperlink, when you click those, when you put the mouse over there, even this is a hyperlink, it's not easy for the end user to understand this is a hyperlink. They can click, go to more details information. Therefore, from the August release, we provide the capability to change the font color for the hyperlinks in the sidebar when the end user put the mouse over here, and which colors will be showed here can be configured in the same setting accordingly. And in such cases, once the end user put the mouse over here, it's quite easy for him to or for her to understand there's a hyperlink to click accordingly. And another changes is more user friendly, is about the custom image for the customized link. So previously, we support the customized link in SMA-SM service portal, but the image itself is out of box or hard coded. Customer cannot change it to make it more consistent with the rest part of the predefined catalog categories, no matter from the style perspective or from the UI theme perspective. So from the August release, as you can see, now customer can customize the image for the customized link. Then you can make it more consistent with the rest part of the catalog category image showed in the first landing page. So that's the more user friendly, or is a more UI consistent behaviors in the SMA-SM service portal. And another minor change is about the search result. So previously, if you defined the even define the price for the service offering, the price itself will not be displayed in the search result. And from the August release, we make this price visible in the search result if you do have defined the price of the offering in the SM service catalog management. So this is another minor improvement here. Another user improvement is about the search behavior. So previously, as you know, when you type some keywords in the search box, actually the first line will not show the search result matched to these keywords. Actually, it will show some suggested result based on the SMA backend logic, like service offering or knowledge article, those kind of stuff. And after that, we have a search icon to do the real search for the keywords typed in the search box. But sometimes this is a little bit confused to the end user, and they can even cannot even notice that there do have some additional action required to do the search for the keywords they typed in the search box. Therefore, from the August release, we highlight this specific section in the search list when end user input something in the search box, and to make sure he is fully aware of this search action required for this keywords typed in the search box. Okay, And the last two enhancements we made in the August release. The first one is about request on behalf supported in a tablet browser. This is something missing in the previous SMA-SM source portal. And we understood some of our SMA-SM customers, they heavily used tablet browser to serve the SMA-SM source portal capability. Therefore, from August, we start to support this request on behalf in tablet browser as well. And meanwhile, in the approval deny comments in the pop-up windows, previously the text length is quite limited. Now the length has been expanded to 500 characters to make sure the approver can provide sufficient approval deny comments in the SMA-SM source portal. Okay, so yeah, a lot of improvement and enhancement have been made in this SMA-SM August release, and that's all about the highlight I want to mention today around the August release. Let me check whether there is any specific question. The first question is it possible to customize the sort order values in the type of the sort to say SM sort order if user not aware of SM sort order field to sort by sort order looks field and some like back? I need to double check whether this can be supported by the open localization. Open localization capability. I'm not sure whether you can change the value by customers themselves. Okay, second one is which has higher priority, new configuration setting set to default language in UI or SM language setting in operator record. So as I mentioned, SM language settings in operator record synchronization, this need to be applied with content pack delivery in the item content pack, which means it is not a default capability offered in the SMA-SM 2021 August release. Default language settings is can be enabled once you upgrade to August release. So basically, set default language definitely is the default behaviors in the SMA-SM service portal. But once you have applied those content pack to auto sync the SM language settings, it will take that part effectively. Okay, is there any other questions? Now I will unmute all of you, and you can unmute yourself to raise your question directly. Okay, so if there's no more questions, I will close today's call. And yeah, thank you for your time to join today's Readiness. And I would say we have done a lot of improvement in the SMA-SM 2021 August release. Therefore, once we have the officially release in the August, we highly recommend you and your customer to take a look at and to assess this new release and plan the future upgrade accordingly. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.